Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Rucci. Happy Love Week. Today we are chatting all things self-love and how certain self-love practices can bring you closer and more in touch with your dream self. Sometimes we can feel like the dream versions of ourselves are a little too far out of reach and we just need to reel in our habits and patterns a little bit, but also we need to look at the things that we are not practicing that would actually work in our benefit if we added them to our day-to-day. We are still very much in the starting points of the year. There's still so much time ahead to make the most of this year and really bring that dream version of yourself to life. And what better time to show yourself some extra love and show your future you some extra love than during Love Month. I've always been someone who's loved the concept of self-care, and depending on the content you consume, it has obviously taken the front seat in a lot of different niches on social media as well. A lot of people are more openly pondering and thinking about self-love, self-care, how they can integrate it more into their day-to-day. Prioritizing certain practices that I know will not only benefit me in the current day, but will work towards bringing that dream version of myself alive and bringing me more within reach of that dream reality I want to live out every day. So today I'm sharing some powerful self-love practices that I've been enjoying integrating into my life and I know will help you step into your dream self. First things first, it starts with defining who your dream self is. Like I mentioned in a previous video, you really need to allot yourself the time, space, and mental energy to decide and understand who you want that version of yourself to be. What does he or she look like? What does he or she smell like? How does he or she talk, walk, present themselves? Having a better understanding of your dream self and understanding who they are, what they stand for, and what makes them them will add an air of familiarity around that dream version. And instead of it feeling like someone else, it'll start to feel a lot more like you, just maybe on a different timeline. Many things that we get stuck pondering about or ruminating over actually can be a lot simpler to think about, and it really just stems from clarity. Having a clearer picture on what it is that you want or who it is that you want to be will help you get there a lot quicker. Journaling is a practice that has become so popular over the years, and for good reason. It really helps see your thoughts that maybe are floating through your mind on paper, and it gives you a lot more clarity on the direction that you want to go in. So a journaling prompt that I think is very powerful in this case is, if I already embodied my dream self, how would I act? How would I feel? How would I think? Would that dream version of yourself act the same way that you act now when it comes to certain situations, or would you react differently? Would you have the same thought processes and patterns that you have now, or would you think differently? Would you manage your emotions the same way that you do now, or would you think differently? The more specific that you can get here, the better you'll feel about this practice and the overall idea of your dream self. Vision boarding and scripting are also two practices that many like to do. I personally find journaling to be the most frictionless and the easiest to do on a consistent basis, whether that means actually writing your thoughts down every day in a notebook or even just going into your notes app on your phone. You also want to romanticize your daily life. I am a self-proclaimed serial romanticizer. I don't say that lightly. I really do believe and advocate for making the most of even the littlest of moments, because that is where the joy lies. The joy is in the journey, the joy is in the everyday. Of course, the more exciting events and grand celebrations that we get to experience come with a lot of excitement and happiness, but it's not every day that we are doing these things. It is every day that we are going through our closets and picking out what to wear. It is every day that we are having our commute to work or to see our friends, our families. So these little moments are the ones that we need to focus on being the most present in, and understanding that this is the true luxury, being able to experience the now. A small mindset shift of understanding how finite time truly is and that what you do with it really matters will help you change your perspective entirely and allow you to operate from a place of gratitude. And gratitude is a strong magnetic energy. It is a strong magnetic force that will bring you so much abundance in the current moment, but also in the future. It will attract that dream version of yourself and that dream reality so much quicker and with so much more might. So acting out of gratitude and operating from a place of love and allowing yourself to make those little moments in your everyday feel more special, whether that means taking a few extra seconds or a few extra steps to dress up in the morning, or lighting a candle while you have a few minutes to read, or playing some light jazz while you cook your dinner and prep your meal for work. It almost ritualizes the everyday and makes it feel like everything is so much more, for lack of a better term, romantic. Remind yourself through affirmations, whether you're repeating them internally or saying them out loud in front of a mirror or while you're stuck in traffic. I'm worthy of beauty, joy, and pleasure every single day. On the surface, a lot of these things are pinned as being related to feminine energy or having to do with the soft life, but at the end of the day, men and women both have feminine and masculine energy, and a lot of these practices are necessary to have those energies in balance. And ultimately, energy that is abundant and magnetic and fueled from a place of love and gratitude is not not discriminatory. It does not have to be just men or women that are practicing these things. The way that you enact these practices on your day-to-day, of course, depends on who you are and how you feel comfortable, but honestly speaking, there is no harm in trying this no matter who you are. Perfect segue into the next point is speaking to yourself with love. The power of self-talk is so unbelievable. It's truly remarkable how our words are essentially the fabric of our reality, and they so strongly impact the kind of lives that we live. A lot of the time, we mindlessly use words that have connotations, whether they're positive or negative, but oftentimes, given the emotionality of the everyday, we lean more to thinking and speaking more negatively. But when you actually take a second to think about what you are saying and what words are going through your mind and coming out of your mouth, what energy do they carry with them? What are they doing to your everyday? How are they influencing your emotions and influencing the things that you are experiencing? Once you become aware of this, be much more mindful about how you approach the thoughts that circle through your mind. Of course, thoughts will come and go, but how much energy you dedicate to actually processing that thought and focusing on it depends on you, and that will influence what your days look like. If that is not in alignment with your dream reality and the life that the dream version of yourself would be living, it is time to change. So when a negative thought comes in your mind, or it's just a thought that doesn't serve you, let it pass, pay it no mind, or alternatively, focus on swapping it with an empowering belief or an empowering approach to the thought. So instead of saying, "I'm so behind," say, "I'm exactly where I need to be. There is a reason that I'm at this point. Years ago, if I got stuck in traffic or some external circumstance led me to run late or fall behind, I would start to think of all the negatives in the situation, and that in turn led to more negatives. But since I've started focusing on shifting my perspective entirely to be a lot more positive and optimistic and understanding of the universe and why it works this way and how our thoughts truly impact our reality, I see traffic or something making me late, like constant red lights at every intersection, as a sign from the universe that I'm not supposed to be on time for whatever reason. Maybe if I ended up at the point that I'd projected I'd be at that time, an accident would have happened, a bad weather condition would have manifested." Shifting our perspectives to be more positive and fueled from a place of love not only gives us peace of mind and happiness in the moment, but it also allows us to operate from a more positive, high vibration. And if we know anything about appreciating the now, that only makes us closer to the dream future. You also want to be prioritizing your boundaries. Self-love, self-care, wellness, these are all not just about ice baths and red light therapy and journaling and massages and going for a nice coffee run in a workout. While all of these things are definitely a part of it, they're not all that make up the idea of self-love. It is about protecting your energy and being a lot more mindful about the energy that you let in and spread outwards as well. It's important to recognize energy draining habits that either you are entertaining within or you are entertaining in the circle around you. Saying no to things that don't serve you, whether again, they are things that you do, think, or are yourself, or you surround yourself with. You need to be in environments, whether they are ones that you are in alone or with others, where your highest self is able to thrive. This is where intentionally letting go of relationships or habits that do not align with that dream version of yourself makes sense. It's not to say cutting people off cold turkey or letting relationships fizzle out simply because you just don't care to maintain them anymore is a good practice. But if the fundamental reason that you are willing to let go of something is that dream version of yourself and that dream reality that you want to live does not really align with what you are entertaining in your current day, that is reason enough to kindly and respectfully say goodbye. And this doesn't just apply to your physical environment, this applies to your digital environment, this applies to your mental environment. So entertaining those thoughts that don't serve you, following accounts on social media that don't make you feel good. These are things that you need to detox from and understand that they are not benefiting you in any way. So it serves you not just in the current moment, but in the future one to let go. And now relating back to the things that we do often conventionally associate with self-care and self-care rituals like skincare, journaling, rest, make time for self-care a non-negotiable in your schedule. Whatever time feels aligned with you and the version of yourself that you want to be, so that you can engage in the self-care that reminds you that you are someone you love. We often say this, but we sometimes forget to practice it. We should be treating ourselves like a person we love. We're often so willing to go out on a limb for our loved ones to make them feel special, make them feel appreciated, and make them feel loved. And we can forget along the way that we need to do that for ourselves too. As much as it's nice for others to do that for us, there is truly nothing like being there for yourself and making yourself feel loved in, again, whatever language suits you best. Whether that means taking yourself out on a little solo shopping date or taking yourself on a solo date to the movies. This goes hand in hand with romanticizing the everyday, but also giving yourself the moments to feel special and do things that make you feel a little extra happy. Now, all that is to say that the dream version of who you want to be and the version of the reality that you want to exist in will only feel more within reach and more tangible if you start to embody it today. Reverse engineer your life. Reverse engineer that dream you and that dream reality down to the habits, down to the everyday occurrences, the routines, the mindsets. So from journaling, you really need to bring the action into the practice. And by acting things out, you are becoming that dream version of you in front of your very own eyes. Without the action, our current and dream selves will stay detached. They will stay so far apart, and they will stay in realities that do not seem to intersect. The act as if method is basically what I'm talking about here, and that translates to something that we've been talking about for years, which is fake it till you make it. That's not to say you should put on a show or embody something that you are not entirely, but ultimately when you think about it, a lot of the habits that your dream self may have, or the way that your dream self looks or acts or behaves, may not necessarily be the way that you would present yourself today, but you are essentially putting on an act or faking it until that just becomes who you are, that just becomes how you are, and that just becomes what you live. So when you are journaling and essentially trying to define your dream self, close your eyes and start to visualize how that would feel, how it would be to be that person, how it would be to live that reality. Experiencing those feelings and understanding those emotions will help you channel them in your everyday as you are trying to embody that version of you and thus become that version too. That's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments below which self-care practice you will be taking part in, or you do already take part in, that allows you to embody your dream self and bring your dream reality to life. Remember that while you are showing everyone around you so much love this week and month, there is no love like self-love, and make sure you are pouring into your cup as much as you pour into the cups of others too. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my next one. Let me know down in the comments if there is anything specific you'd like to see on the channel. Otherwise, until my next one, take care.